resistance is futile.
Boldly going where no show has gone before. This is The Week in Geek with David D. Squared and Brian Held. Heard live on News Talk 99.5 WRNO and the iHeartRadio app. Here are your hosts, Brian Held and D. Squared.
Greetings, citizens of Earth. This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D Squared, with
Brian Held.
Brian Held. How the hell are you, buddy?
Oh, man, I am so worn out.
I don't want to hear it. The Saints just won the playoffs.
All of the playoffs?
That, baby. Yeah, they won the whole playoffs.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
You and
sports
your
ball.
Sports ball,
you have no
right.
idea. You don't know. You don't understand the pain.
Well, but, for me, it was more important that we were at Wizard World, New Orleans all weekend long.
Is that where we were?
Yes, I was.
I don't recall. Tell me about it. Did I have fun?
I think you did. So first off, just some quick thanks out there. Thanks, of course, to Wizard World for having us once again to be out there and meet all the fans. Thanks to all the fans stopping by. We love seeing and interacting with you. Thanks to our team who worked the booth while Dave and I were trying to run around getting interviews and all the good stuff. And thanks to our newest sponsor, Gretna Signworks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're really great. In fact, our merchandising manager works with them to get our show shirts done and all the cool stuff that you can get from us. So they do great work, so go check them out.
Absolutely. All right, we'll get back to our thank yous, though. Let's lay out the show real quick.
Yep.
We're going to open up with top nerd news, and then we got our boy Skungy with his pick of the week.
Right.
And we got an interview, Brian, like an old childhood flame.
Well, this is Mark Kistler. Or as I knew him as a child, Commander Mark, who teaches people how to draw. He's so awesome, just such an idol from my childhood. It was so great to see him and talk to him. So we'll talk about that in the guest spot.
He's not like a tracer or a doodler like that Lottie guy or that Preston Avocado guy, right?
No, he's the real deal, yeah.
Okay,
and he makes it easy.
I saw he had a crayon bandolier. That's pretty badass.
It is.
I want a crayon bandolier.
It's good stuff. And, of course, we'll close out the show as we always do with This Week in Geek History.
Absolutely. All right, you ready for a little top nerd news action?
Yes, sir.
And now, your top nerd news stories from around the world, brought to you by the Viridian Tea Company. Find them on Etsy. And now, your top nerd news stories. All right, Brian, what's topping us off today?
Well, we mentioned it a few weeks ago about Hollywood South this year is really ramping up. I know that there's 17 productions in place this first quarter of the year, and I've seen an article recently that kind of delves a little bit further into that. Of course, there's going to be a World War II movie that Tom Hanks.
Greyhound,
Yeah, Tom Hanks is going to be doing in New Orleans. And
no, it's Baton Rouge.
Oh yeah, Baton Rouge.
Kid.
Yeah.
I love my World War II movies, and of course, anything with Tom Hanks. I'm all aboard. The Man with One Red Shoe, still my favorite. And Joe versus the Volcano.
Yeah,
the greatest movies ever.
Oh yeah.
Greyhound. But Eli, I don't know what the hell that one is. But there's another one called Highwaymen, and it looks like this weird crime drama. But what's it? Semper Fi. Okay, that's another one that they're going to be doing, and that's about like a Marine who gets like court-martialed or whatever, and he convinces his friend to go back. But then there was a kangaroo court, and then he has to break him out.
Interesting.
It sounds fun.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, of course, NCIS New Orleans will continue. Preacher is continuing.
Yes. Preacher, man, that's good stuff.
Of course, X-Men, I'm sorry.
Gambit, yeah.
Gambit is finally getting filmed.
Why are they calling it? Was that called Evermore or some crap like that? Or Forevermore?
That could be a production name.
Is that all right? So,
yeah.
So it's one of those like the bait and switch?
Probably.
Like how to do radio, but it's really a show about how to make movies?
Right.
Okay.
But, folks have been waiting for Gambit forever, so it's
Channing Tatum.
Well,
It's Channing Tatum.
We'll see.
No, we won't. I don't think I'm going to go watch it, honestly.
All right.
You want to watch 21 Jump Street Marvel style?
Maybe he's evolved as an actor and he can...
I want the glue you're sniffing, dude. I want that glue. Hook a brother up. Good Lord.
Well, hey,
it's good news for us. Their
Yes.
money is green and it spends. And each of these movies, like the article broke down like millions of Louisiana payroll.
Right.
Like one of us, like the budget is 190 million, 160 of which will be spent in Louisiana.
Yep.
And like 10 million in just the payroll alone, and that's all local people.
Yep.
Nobody coming in from that California, them hippie Hollywood lovers.
Oh, jeez.
Whatever. What do they call Hollywood? I don't know.
I don't know.
The
But
left coast. That's what they call
the
it.
left coast.
Yeah.
Well, hey, while we're talking about, because there's a little uncertainty there, uncertainty in American Gods Season 2, we're hearing that Gillian Anderson has bowed out of that season. She played Media, one of the new gods.
I never got to watch it, so I mean, is that a major character? I'm assuming it is.
She is.
Right, because I kind of sort of got the gist that it's like the old gods are being replaced in essence. They've lost their power.
Right. Well, the new gods have waned, and I'm sorry, the old gods have waned. The new gods are taking over, and so the old gods are trying to fight back and become relevant again.
Well, you know what? No, it could work since it's the god of media. Well, like obviously there's always casting changes in movies and stuff, and you
That's
always
true.
got new anchorman and all these things. They just change the character, so she can change her visage.
She could.
Visage.
Well, the what is it? The directors left over some budgetary concerns, and when
What?
they left,
How does a director leave for? They're not going to pay the directors.
I'm not sure, but
They put all the green M&Ms in. Like in your contract, you can't have any orange M&Ms.
yeah, Brian Fuller departed from the show, and when he left, Gillian Anderson's like, "I'm out. I don't want to come back."
Weird. What,
yeah,
are they dating or something?
I don't know, but let's see. Yeah, and Michael Green was the other showrunner. They left, but it's supposed to be coming back. It's just kind of iffy as to if it's going to make it in May or if it's going to get pushed a little bit. It's supposed to come back this year. But, I mean, I enjoyed that first season. It was incredible. It was really good. And, of course, fans of the book itself, Gaiman's book, American Gods, loved what they were doing. Great actors that they picked. Ian McShane was incredible in that.
Now, all right, talking about other movies and stuff, the Amazon Prime, they have a double paywall for some anime stuff.
Yeah, so they had this anime strike service that they were using, and I didn't realize this was happening. I wasn't aware of it, but basically, you pay $99 for your Amazon Prime fee, and then to get this particular anime service, and there was also a Bollywood service, you had to pay an additional like $60 a year.
Holy crap.
To get that. So it was this double paywall kind of situation, and I guess it wasn't doing well, obviously.
Yeah.
So they canceled both of those services and just moved that content into Amazon Prime as a whole. But
yeah, I mean, why would they pay? I don't.
Well, they're basically trying to say, look, this is premium content. You need to pay an additional fee to get this channel, as it were.
They misread the market. Is what happened.
Probably, yeah. But I can see that what do we got? We got Netflix, we got Hulu, we got CBS All Access now.
Right.
There's all of this sort of wild west of streaming content that we're in, and everybody's trying to figure it out. And this is probably a step in that direction. Like, hey, can we get extra cash out of these viewers for this? And clearly they can't.
Well, obviously, yes. So, I mean, yeah, like they got free streaming services, too. I think Chiller, that's like all the horror stuff.
Okay.
That one might not be free, but Con TV.
Yeah,
we were
Con
talking
TV
about
has,
that before the show started. But speaking of other paywalls and streaming content, Bright on Netflix.
Yes. So
I finally got to watch it.
And?
I friggin' loved it.
As did I. I thought it was very well done, very much Shadowrun meets Alien Nation.
I guess I didn't see the Alien Nation parallel as much. I was glad that I didn't see it because it was completely different. It wasn't. This is something that I wish they'd have gone into more in the movie, because one of the lines that really stuck out to me and really just made my creative juices flow was when one of the bad cops who was found the magic wand was like, dude, my grandfather was killing those orc scum in Russia, like 100 years ago, blah, blah, blah. And it's like this whole history. It's not like Alien Nation where they just plop down in the 80s, This is basically saying that orcs and elves and dwarves and everything have been here since the dawn of time. So there's a shared history, a shared, not universe, but I mean, like, they've always been there.
Right.
So there's a history, there's a timeline where you could actually, if they do a sequel or they do more movies in this timeline or whatever.
Yeah.
Setting. There we go. Setting. You could jump back into the past, and have the, time jump. I mean, imagine a World War II scenario where, like, I don't know, Hitler co-ops the Hobgoblin Corps and, like, it's like, all right, let's take over Russia. I mean, like, our boy Brendan LaSalle in X-Crawl.
Yeah.
He made, like, that. It's similar to kind of what he did there. And it's a lot of fun, and that's what I like about this movie is that there's much more they can do, and that it's not just poof, these orcs and elves popped up out of the ground, but they've always been there. And the whole, the dichotomy of the rich-ass elves and everybody else, like, of course, I mean, who likes elves? I hate elves. They always look down their snooty, pointed nose at us. Oh, you humans.
Oh, come on now.
They do. They're snobs.
No, I mean,
Elves are snobs.
Not all elves are snobs.
I'm sorry to all our elvish listeners out there. I apologize. That was rude and crass of me. I'm so sorry.
But no, you're right. And there's a lot of cool Easter eggs. Did you catch the Centaur Cavalry Cops?
Yes, that was awesome. Yeah, the mounted police, man. That's little things like that.
Right.
And I mean, there's so much stuff they can do. And then the creepy hobo with the sword who turns out to be a well-spoken, like, genius in essence, who was part of the prophecy. Or like he smelled the prophecy on them.
Right.
It was really good. I mean, I enjoy the hell out of it, and I really hope they do something more.
Well, they have announced a sequel, right?
Okay.
They are working on that. What I'd prefer is if it would be like a series, right, of episodes.
Yes and no. Honestly, I like the movie. Anytime they do a series, they're gonna get other random schmoes to do it. And also, I mean, I liked Will Smith's character, but I could give two craps that he's going to be a bright, moving forward. I don't care about that storyline.
Okay.
It's done. He saved the day. Maybe you could drag him in later on in a movie or something like that. But I really think that they could flush this out and take other angles because there wasn't a whole lot of elves. Apparently, elves are running the damn Federal Reserve and everything else.
Right.
Because, like, they were in charge of the magic.
Oh, yeah.
They were the magic police.
Right.
So, I mean, there's so much more they can do. I think a sequel will be a disservice to how good this genre and setting could be.
That's fair.
I'm just putting that out there.
Okay.
Call me bright. Hang out with Will Smith.
Oh, that would be cool.
All right, so what else before we hit the break? Because we got to get our boy Skungy with his pick of the week.
Let's see.
Oh, you went up to Baton Rouge. Tell me about it.
Okay, so this past Wednesday, I went to the Independent Game Developers monthly meeting to talk about the show and present and talk about how we work with the gaming community and talk about gaming in our show. And it was great. There were a lot of cool people who showed up out there. A lot of good questions from the audience that I really enjoyed. A lot of networking.
Were you like the keynote speaker?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, and Ernie was there as well. Cyber Ernie, he talked a bit as well. Don Cooper was out there taking some pictures. We should see those soon. And it was great.
You go around with an entourage.
Well, I mean,
the staff photographer.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's good. So real quick, we met the developer for Catasaurus Rex. Out there. He was at FIFOCon, and it's a great little mobile game. It's really cool. Go check that out. They were selected as a finalist for the Indie Prize competition at Casual Connect out in California, and we wanted to wish them good luck in their the competition. And yeah, man, it was really cool.
What are they competing against? Like other mobile games? Or
other independently developed games.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
So, and there was a lot of great folks out there. Like I said, some podcasters showed up too. That was great. Nick Savades from the Nick Savades podcast was there.
Cool.
He's a great guy. Does some good interviews. And
you got us over the 3,000 hump. You
Yes.
asked everybody at the meeting to like us on Facebook, and we cracked 3,000.
We did crack 3,000, and we got another 50 some odd this weekend at Wizard World. So
Absolutely.
That was cool.
All right, man. So let's go to break. What's coming up?
Skungy's pick of the week, and he is going to be just as tired as we are, so I guess it's going to be a surprise.
He's fine.
What are you talking about?
He wasn't doing anything.
He was working at the GameStop booth.
I didn't see him. He wasn't at our booth. He was at another booth?
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, guys, stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Do you have a message or logo that you need the world to see? Then rely on the folks at Gretna Signworks to use their expertise to deliver your design. With over 15 years in business, Gretna Signworks can do commercial and yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, magnetic signs, vehicle graphics and lettering, and so much more. Gretna Signworks also has an exceptional network of suppliers, so no job is out of scope. Find Gretna Signworks on Facebook or visit them at 2125 Belle Chase Highway today.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com. Black Tie Tans, the premier mobile spray tanning professionals of New Orleans. Black Tie Tans will come to you and give you a natural glistening glow on the go. First-time customers get 20% off their first tan. Find them on Facebook at Black Tie Tans or email them at blacktieTans@gmail.com to set your appointment. Going to a wedding? Going out to the club? Black Tie Tans will give you the look you need. Black Tie Tans. Tell your pale friends.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
In a New Orleans that never was and never will be, airships float high above the city while platoons of clockwork automatons patrol the streets below. In Storyville, pirates, streetwalkers, gamblers, and thieves prowl back alleys in search of their next mark. New Orleans by Gaslight, the premier anthology of locally written and locally produced steampunk poetry and fiction, all set in Victorian New Orleans. Buy it now, available in both paperback and Kindle versions at Amazon.com. New Orleans by Gaslight.
Silverblatt Design has etched glass or stainless steel from your favorite fandoms. Pint glasses, tumblers, shot glasses, flasks, and more from Silverblatt Design. Find Silverblatt Design on Facebook or Etsy and place your order today.
My name is Optimus Prime, and you are listening to The Week in Geek. Autobots, transform and roll out!
Welcome back. This is The Week in Geek. I'm your host, D Squared with
Brian Held.
All right, Brian, are you ready to talk to this guy? What's his name again?
Skungy. I always love talking to Skungy.
Why, though?
Because he's awesome.
Okay.
I am not what you would call a handsome man.
Skungy's Pick of the Week is brought to you by GameStop and ThinkGeek.com.
Skungy's Pick of the Week.
You might be an idiot savant.
Woohoo!
Skungy, what's shaking bacon?
Oh, man, I'm hurting, guys. I'm hurting.
Did you do anything this weekend?
No, it was just this thing that happened at the convention center. It wasn't that big of a deal, you know.
Funny thing happened on the way to the Coliseum.
Ha-ha!
All right, so we're all brain dead. Yeah, it's a new year, and we didn't talk to you last year, did we?
No, you didn't talk to me last year at all.
Okay. So
Not at all.
well, I don't really remember what the hell we did for you. We recapped all of our great interviews over the course of last year.
It was our year-end retrospective.
Our year-end review.
Yes.
So we did not get a chance to talk to you, Skungy. So give us your rear-end review.
Really?
I'm sorry. Your year-end review. Sorry.
All right, I didn't know it was that kind of party. Yeah, so basically just wanted to go over my top 5 for the year with video games. Now, 2017, guys, I'm going to tell you, it was a fantastic year for games.
It was
in the words
a
of Brian
very
Held.
good year.
Nice.
It really was a great year for video games. There were so many games that came out over the course of the year, and it wasn't like there wasn't a lot of downtime. So you had hit after hit, and just when you're like, all right, I'm done with this game, another game came out. So it was really hard to pinpoint 5, but now these are not by any way, shape, or form the people that a lot of people say they might not be the best. These are the ones that I like the most in 2017.
And that's all that matters, Skungy.
So
Yeah,
the
who cares what other people
first
think?
one, number 5, is going to be Prey.
Oh, was that the toilet roll game? Where,
Yes.
You could shapeshift into a toilet roll and kill people.
Yeah. It was just such a creepy game that was it flew under the radar for a while, but it came out and it was just so well done. I mean, everything, the atmosphere was great, the voice acting was really good, the story was good, and it had a really cool gameplay mechanic that you can, go back and play on multiple times if you wanted to.
All right, good replay value. Awesome.
Yeah, very good replay value, and just like the setting of it was creepy. You felt uncomfortable about it. The enemies there was something just made you feel uneasy throughout the entire game with it not being a horror game, but more of that sci-fi kind of thriller is what it felt like.
Cool.
Number 4 is probably the hardest game that I have played in the last 3 years, and that's Cuphead.
Oh yeah. I saw some of that on the set of NCIS.
I saw T-shirts of Cuphead.
Yeah, they were light. It's getting really popular because there's that whole 1930s cartoon, like the old Silly Symphony Disney cartoons is how the game looks.
Right.
It's a good old fashioned platforming game where you're running and gunning and shooting and fighting a bunch of bosses. There's either you're fighting a bunch of bosses and then there are a couple of running gun levels, but all of them are elaborate bosses with multiple different stages, and it is hard. Break your controller in half hard.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of reports from folks that are like, I died 30 times just trying to get past this one boss, and I finally beat it,
They have a function in the game that you can go to, and it'll tell you exactly how many times you've died while playing the game.
Oh, well, that's nice of them.
So that's always good.
Yeah.
So moving on to my number 3 game of the year. Number 3 is going to be Horizon Zero Dawn for the PlayStation 4.
And what was that one?
I don't remember that at all.
Horizon Zero Dawn it came out early in the year. It came out in February. It was a game about this woman. It's like human beings it's a post-apocalyptic, and human beings have gone back to being nomadic tribes. Okay. And machines have evolved, and they are like animals now, and you hunt them in herds and use their technology to try to put armor on you and everything. So it was a extremely great story. I mean, this story was fantastic. You're going through this world and you're trying to figure out what happened and why the earth is now the way it is, why the machines have risen up, and why are the machines now turning violent when they were peaceful before? Why are humans like this tribe? It's a very deep story. And they actually just had an expansion called The Frozen Wild that just came out about 2 months ago to add on to it. This game looks gorgeous. It's got great third-person gameplay, open world, RPG elements to it. It was just amazing.
Let me ask you a quick question, because you said an expansion just dropped. So does it just add to the story, or do you need to kind of go replay it again?
No, it adds to the story. It's a continuation of the story. It picks up where it's not like it adds on. It's not going to be like a whole full new game.
Okay.
But it picks up where the game left off and gives you a little bit more story to kind of whet your appetite before they come out with more stuff for it, which hopefully they will, because it's just a fantastic franchise with a really good mythology to it.
Cool. All right.
Number 2, Super Mario Odyssey on the Switch.
Cool.
All right.
As I think Brian put it, it's the Exorcist Super Mario, where you're possessing everything with your hat.
Yeah, right.
So it's, I mean, what can you say? I mean, it's Mario. Everybody had fun. It's the closest thing to Mario 64 in the updated world that you can get. Running, jumping, platforming, fantastic level designs, great replay value. There, you can go back and keep playing the game even after you've beaten it for hours and hours and hours at a time to try to find everything. The controls are very responsive. Huge worlds to explore. Nintendo knocked it out of the park with that one.
Cool. Yeah, no, it seems like the Switch is doing really well with.
The Switch is doing. It's already outsold the Wii U in like total sales to the Wii U in less than a year. The Wii U was out for like 4 years, and the Switch has already outsold it.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then, well, speaking of the Nintendo Switch, my number 1 game of the year, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Nice.
Yay!
This game took Legend of Zelda back to, I mean, it took it somewhere that you never thought it would go. A lot of people called it a Skyrim clone because it had that kind of feel where you're cooking or it's got, the weapons have breakability to them. And it was by far the hardest Zelda I've ever played in my life. But it was also the most rewarding Zelda because it didn't, like a lot of Zeldas, it's like, all right, you have to go fight this boss. And then when you're done fighting that boss, you have to go to this dungeon because you have to get this item to fight this boss. It didn't do any of that. It said, it kicks you out of a cave and goes, here's the world, go explore.
Wow. So complete sandbox like Skyrim is, right?
Yeah, it's a complete sandbox where you can, I mean, they've had people who do speed runs of this game. You literally get out of the cave and go fight Ganon right away if you want to.
Interesting.
Now, it's stupid if you do that because you will die quickly, or you're either really good at a game that you're going to do that. But, I mean, there's so much to find in that game. There's so many nuances for people who are fans of the franchise, little things hidden here and there. And it was just a wonderful experience. And they're keeping it up. They had DLC content for it, which gave it in hard mode, which I don't think the game needed because it was already hard as it was.
Yeah.
But it gave, and it was only like $20 for the DLC that gave you extra dungeons and everything, and just added on to the story. And it was just, it was a fantastic, knocked out of the park. I could not put the game down. And that's the thing about games. It's, if you have a game that even somebody might think it's a terrible game, but to you, if you cannot put that game down, that's all that matters.
No, that's cool.
Amen to that, brother.
So, Skungy, I wanted to mention something interesting to you. While we were at the table this weekend, somebody came up. They were asking about the show and kind of what we talk about. And they were like, well, tell me about games, like some of the games you cover. And we started talking about that. And they're like, what do you think about Hello Neighbor? And I'm like, we just covered that, you know?
Yeah.
And so people should totally tune in to hear your regular reviews about all the games.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, of
Absolutely.
course they should. They should listen to the wonderful docile tones of Mr. Brian Hell Jr. and the weird shenanigans of Mr. David DeCorbier.
Shenanigans.
Yeah.
Shenanigans.
All right. Well, what's your most anticipated game for 2018, Skungy?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Wow, that didn't require any thought, apparently.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
All right.
That is, Red Dead Redemption is in my top 10 of all time. And I've been waiting for that game to come out with bated breath, and it is going to be out. It got pushed back to March. I mean, pushed back to June. Upsets me, but still, that's my most anticipated game of the year.
Good deal.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Anything else going on of note, Skungy?
No, it's actually going to be a kind of a quiet month. I mean, you know, January's a terrible time for video games, unfortunately, because everybody's still making up their money from Christmas and everything. But we have a really good February coming up, and there's going to be some good stuff on the horizon. And then there's always indie games. There's always indie games. Every week, new indie games come out. So I suggest that people always check out their either PlayStation Steam or Xbox and check out to see what the new indie games are coming out, because there's some hidden gems there.
Yeah, like Games with Gold. I downloaded Vermintide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Vermintide, and then Slayaway Camp, which was another little hidden gem that had friend of the show, Mark Meir.
Yes, absolutely. And doesn't GameStop have an independent game title or brand or
Game
something? Game Trust. Yeah. It's where we get indies and everything like that to, we help develop. They publish all these indie developers. Fantastic.
Good deal. All right, guess what, Skungy?
Am I fired?
You damn right you are. Yeah, you are two-timing us with GameStop all weekend.
I'm sorry.
Don't come back.
Love you, Skungy.
Love y'all
He
too.
lies.
Bye.
All right, guys, when we get back, we're going to have our interview with Mr. Mark Kistler.
The Crayon Bandolier.
He's Commander Mark.
With the Crayon Bandolier.
Yes, from the Secret
Doom.
City. Yes. Guys, stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Are you looking for a unique gift or geeky item? Then look no further than Silverblatt Design. They offer unparalleled etched logos in glass or stainless steel from your favorite fandoms. Silverblatt Design etches on pint glasses, tumblers, shot glasses, flasks, and more. Having trouble finding a particular logo? Silverblatt Design does custom work and gets you exactly what you're looking for. Professional attitude, great customer service, and high-quality products are available now at Silverblatt Design. Find them on Facebook or Etsy and place your order today.
In a New Orleans that never was and never will be, airships float high above the city while platoons of clockwork automatons patrol the streets below. In Storyville, pirates, streetwalkers, gamblers, and thieves prowl back alleys in search of their next mark. New Orleans by Gaslight, the premier anthology of locally written and locally produced steampunk poetry and fiction, all set in Victorian New Orleans. Buy it now, available in both paperback and Kindle versions at Amazon.com. New Orleans by Gaslight.
If you enjoy books that are sensual, macabre, unusual, and filled with magic, then delve into the worlds of award-winning author and editor Kimberly B. Richardson. Her books, Tales from a Goth Librarian 1 and 2, The Decemberists, and Mabon Pomegranate will surely satisfy your craving for the strange and unusual. Her books are available through Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, as well as Dark Oak Press at darkoakpress.com. Have a cup of Earl Grey, turn the pages, and see what lurks within.
Black Tie Tans, the premier mobile spray tanning professionals of New Orleans. Black Tie Tans will come to you and give you a natural glistening glow on the go. First-time customers get 20% off their first tan. Find them on Facebook at Black Tie Tans or email them at blacktieTans@gmail.com to set your appointment. Going to a wedding? Going out to the club? Black Tie Tans will give you the look you need. Black Tie Tans. Tell your pale friends.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
Do you have a message or logo that you need the world to see? Then rely on the folks at Gretna Signworks to use their expertise to deliver your design. With over 15 years in business, Gretna Signworks can do commercial and yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, magnetic signs, vehicle graphics and lettering, and so much more. Gretna Signworks also has an exceptional network of suppliers, so no job is out of scope. Find Gretna Signworks on Facebook or visit them at 2125 Bell Chase Highway today.
Yeah, this is Sam J. Jones / Gordon, and you are listening to The Week in Geek. You better be listening. I will hunt you down, and I will find you.
Welcome back. This is The Week in Geek, and you better be listening because he'll hunt you down.
Yeah, I wouldn't want Flash Gordon to hunt me down, man.
All right, this is D Squared along with
Brian Held.
All right, Brian, why don't you set up this interview that we scored at Wizard World?
Yeah, so, when I was a little kid, I watched an inordinate amount of PBS, right?
Okay.
And one of my most favorite shows that I'd watch was called The Secret City with Mark Kistler, or Commander Mark.
Oh.
And his whole deal is teaching kids, and their parents by extension, to draw. And he would break it down very simply, to kind of show you that, look, this drawing over here is really just kind of a bunch of shapes. And if we can understand how to express those shapes very simply, then you can work your way up. Like if you remember those learn how to draw little deals that you'd see in comic books and magazines.
Circle, and then they do another circle.
Right, and then it's a full picture. And you're like, how'd you get there?
Yeah, right.
Well, Commander Mark would help you get there, right?
Oh, well, that's nice of him.
Oh, yeah, no. And I mean, I used to just wait very excitedly for his show to come on all the time. And he would do like little lessons, and then he had kind of this mural he would work on. So as you would watch the show, that mural would grow into the Secret City. And, oh, yeah.
He didn't have happy trees, though, right?
He had these kind of weird space trees and stuff, right? And there were these little teddy bears with like unicorn horns and stuff, and little aliens and flying spaceships, and it was fun stuff, right? The kids are excited about. So it was such a pleasure to meet him. He was so cool. You want to go ahead and roll that audio?
Sure thing. Here we go.
This is Brian Held with the Week in Geek radio show on News Talk 99.5 WRNO, and we're closing out Wizard World New Orleans Comic Con 2018 right now, and I'm here with Mark Kistler. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm surprised you didn't say Commander Mark. How's it going? Well, I have had such a wonderful week. It's my third year here with Wizard World with the New Orleans Comic Con. The past 2 years I've been doing Comic Cons around the world now. A lot of the fans from the 1980s, from the series The Secret City, which you remembered.
Oh, yeah, no, I love you as Commander Mark in The Secret City.
That was 19 years old. I'm 54 now, so it tells you the age. And then I did a series in 1990s called Imagination Station. And for that series, my team, it's an amazing group of directors and producer and the writers, we won the Emmy. It was in 2010 for that series. That went for 20 years. And so recently, that series that won the Emmy, the Imagination Station, is on Amazon Prime. We just got it released in December. So if any of your action-packed creative listeners want to draw in 3D with me, go to Amazon Prime, type in my name, Mark Kistler. There's a T and a K-I-S-T-L-E-R. You could type in the name of the show, too. It's the Imagination Station.
So the overall gist of what you're doing is, I mean, you're an artist, right? And we're at your table here. You have plenty of art available, but you have been teaching kids to draw for years, right? That's the goal, right?
Yeah, my main passion in life is teaching kids and their parents the joy of drawing, the joy of learning how to draw, and the joy of unleashing your imagination on that paper. That blank paper is a whole world ready to be discovered. I call it pencil power. Remember that? Pencil power, draw. So that's basically my main purpose for coming to Comic Cons or wherever I'm going to visit. I just got back from Paris Comic Con and Dubai, the Mid East, is teaching folks around the world how to draw. And that taking away that mystery and that, oh no, I don't have talent, I can't draw. And once you take that stigma away, it's just amazing what happens with that pencil. You just get the folks to just start with the line, put a dot and draw a line. And build on that and you can draw amazing pictures. Which, if they go to Amazon Prime or to YouTube too. YouTube is free and I have 150 lessons on there too. All teaching drawing. You can draw a cat or a shark or a secret city or a bird. Now what you're seeing here on my table, this is my fan art. I have a lot of my classic art from the 80s and the 90s that I made prints of. What coincidence. Gee, I'm a working artist and I'm selling my art. Thank you for buying my art. My kids are appreciative. But this fan art, every one of these has a story behind it. This one's a picture of Groot running through a field, and I have a bunch of my students who help animate the Guardians of the Galaxy, Betamax, Spider-Man, Mermaid, Batman. It's just so neat getting emails from my student. For instance, the fellow who won the Oscar for Madagascar and for Kung Fu Panda. great guy, and he watched the series and has his daughter now is a big fan of the show. And he was the director, Rick Spignon from DreamWorks. So it's just neat and validating after 40 years to get emails from these old viewers and seeing the movies that they're working on. You know, like the Wonder Woman movie. I had like 6 of my old viewers on that show. That was really, really cool. I still love to draw.
Oh, that's great. Now, have any of your previous viewers, because I know you would do that on your show, where you would show pictures of people sending in their work that you've taught them how to do this. Hey, this is what, Commander Mark, this is what I've done. Any comic book artists come out of that?
Tons of, yeah. I get the emails from a lot of the covers of Marvel Comics, DC Comics. Most of the emails I get are from the animated movies, from the movie industry, from the Pixar and DreamWorks. Like, well, the guys who created Pixar were viewers of my show back in the 80s, and if you watch this really cool show called The Making of Pixar, it's a movie. You ever see that? They mentioned me in like 6 seconds as being their earliest impression and inspiration to draw. And it was so cool. I'm famous on the movie Making a Pixar for 0.3 seconds.
Right.
And I know it because I've seen it. My kids are so bored. Dad, are you gonna watch that again? Oh yeah. Push the rewind. So, well, thank you so much for coming over and inviting me to be on your radio broadcast.
Absolutely. So, for the next generations of kids who want to learn how to draw, how can folks find you and out there on the net and keep up with all your tutorials and everything?
Well, it's very hard. I'm just joking. You type in Mark Kistler, and it pops up on Wikipedia, it pops up on YouTube, and it pops up on markkistler.com. Type in Mark Kistler, it'll pop. It should link you to Amazon Prime. So my name, M-A-R-K, and then Kistler, K-I-S as in Sam, Tom, Larry, Edward, Ralph, Mark Kistler. I was going to tell you there was one really cool thing. What was it? Just keep drawing all the time. What was the question? Oh, shoot. I'm all scattered from the Comic-Con.
Just where can folks find you and all that good stuff? So.
And, YouTube and Amazon Prime and my online markkistler.com.
All right, Commander Mark, thank you.
It's going to hit me in about 8 seconds. As soon as you turn that off, I'm going to what was I going to say? So anyhow, keep drawing every day, even if you don't think you can, you guys, all you guys listening right here. It's so fun, and it opens up such a world of creativity, and really the world needs more creativity. So, I have my book is called You Can Draw in 30 Days, and check that out. I got free little sections of the book. Check out my website, click the book, and do some free lessons and just get that imagination wheel rolling.
Commander Mark, thank you so much for so many years of great inspiration. Appreciate it.
Woohoo!
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
Black Tie Tans, the premier mobile spray tanning professionals of New Orleans. Black Tie Tans will come to you and give you a natural glistening glow on the go. First-time customers get 20% off their first tan. Find them on Facebook at Black Tie Tans or email them at blacktieTans@gmail.com to set your appointment. Going to a wedding? Going out to the club? Black Tie Tans will give you the look you need. Black Tie Tans. Tell your pale friends.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
In a New Orleans that never was and never will be, airships float high above the city while platoons of clockwork automatons patrol the streets below. In Storyville, pirates, streetwalkers, gamblers, and thieves prowl back alleys in search of their next mark. New Orleans by Gaslight, the premier anthology of locally written and locally produced steampunk poetry and fiction, all set in Victorian New Orleans. Buy it now, available in both paperback and Kindle versions at Amazon.com. New Orleans by Gaslight.
Silverblatt Design has etched glass or stainless steel from your favorite fandoms. Pint glasses, tumblers, shot glasses, flasks, and more from Silverblatt Design. Find Silverblatt Design on Facebook or Etsy and place your order today.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
My name is Optimus Prime, and you are listening to
Starscream here, and you are listening to The Week in Geek. Call me Lord.
Welcome back. This is The Week in Geek. I'm your host, D Squared with
Brian Held.
Thank you, Starscream, setting Optimus straight.
You know, I was going to say, hey, Dave, you already played
that.
Yeah.
I thought you would.
Yeah.
See? I do pay attention at times.
Nice.
Now, you know what? I want to strongly urge people out there to check us out on Facebook. Like us on Facebook at The Week in Geek / whatever the hell it is.
Yes.
Facebook.com / The Week in Geek. Follow us on Twitter at Twig Radio. The Instagram's The Week in Geek, and our website, twigradio.com. Now, Brian, how can people listen to this lovely show?
Well, if you missed any part of tonight's show or you want to catch your favorite part again, you can always find us on Spreaker.com or download Spreaker for your smartphone or tablet. We're also on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and at WRNO.com.
It seems like it gets longer and longer every week.
Yeah, no, I added us to Google Play not long ago. I forgot to mention it when I did. And look, you know, we did a little social media kind of raffle at the con, and we were trying to get likes for the page and everything. We're going to hit certain goals. I did pick a name. I'm going to get in contact with those folks after the show when I can kind of collect my wits after being busy all weekend. So somebody out there is a prize pack winner.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. Are you ready to get started with This Week in Geek History?
Quickly, but I want to send some congratulations out to the Tibbetses.
Oh,
the Tibbets had a baby. We got a new nerd in the world.
It's so great. Yes.
I know, man. Yeah, no, congratulations to Brian and
Claire.
lovely wife. Yes.
Yes.
And, you know, hey, having a kid is crazy. It's nuts. And you think you didn't have time to game before.
Right.
Try being a daddy. Well, good luck to you, pal. Congratulations. Now, you ready to do This Week in Geek History?
Yes, sir.
This Week in Geek History.
We're sending you back to the future!
Yes! Oh my God!
This Week in Geek History is brought to you by Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, read by Brian Held. Available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. This Week in Geek History.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
All right, sir.
Wow.
First item on my list is January 1st, 2010. David Tennant completes his run as the 10th Doctor on Doctor Who in the episode The End of Time.
Ooh.
Yes.
I didn't even get to see him from afar. I didn't even make it over to his table.
I passed by, I saw him. He's a ginger now.
What?
Yes, I guess he must be preparing for some role or something.
Sure hope so, because gingers have no souls.
Right. Well, you know, he's a bottle ginger, right?
Oh, okay. Well, that's acceptable. Lindsay Luquette got a picture with him.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. What's next?
January 3rd, 1977. Stephen Paul Jobs and Stephen Gary Wozniak file their papers to incorporate the Apple Computer Corporation.
And then the knives came out. There was blood everywhere.
Yeah,
Man.
I'll put that in for you, Dave.
Why?
Because you like Apple so much.
Yeah. Did you see the movie?
Which movie?
With Magneto in it.
Yeah, I guess.
No, whatever the hell it was. It was Steve Jobs. That was the name of it.
No, I didn't see that one.
Actually, you should watch it because Steve Jobs was a scumbag.
Yeah, no, I did.
I was kind of thrown by that.
I did read the Woz autobiography from Steve Wozniak. That was really cool. I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
All right, what's next?
January 4th, 2011. Comic legend Stan Lee receives his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Hooray!
Yes. And I got to take a picture with him this weekend.
You did. And look, you said something like you had to go get in the fast pass lane. I mean, what did they have local celebrity line?
No, they had a, it didn't work out. Like I wasn't able to get, because I was trying to get back to the table, but it didn't work out. So what's funny is that it got posted to my page and people were commenting on it, and somebody was like, oh, well, he looks a little like he could have smiled or whatever. And I'm like, he could have had a scowl on his face. The fact that he was sitting there and I got to take a picture with him.
Well, I mean, we did check Stan's Twitter feed afterwards, and he tweeted out, OMG, just about LCBH. So I mean, apparently he was excited. I mean, I never looked it in the picture, but he let the world know about you.
He was holding it in.
It was, yeah. He was like, I'm a professional, damn it. I'm not going to squee because the local celebrity Brian Held's sitting next to me.
Right.
What's next?
Let's see if you can guess this one. January 5th, 1996. Directed by Terry Gilliam and starring Bruce Willis, Brad Pitt, and Madeline Stowe.
Bruce Willis, Brad Pitt.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. Bruce Willis eats a spider in this one.
I have no clue.
No clue? 12 Monkeys.
Oh, I hate that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
I did not like it.
Oh, it's great.
You had to think too much. It made me think, and I'm not a big fan of thinking. I go to movies to not think.
Oh, no. I love the ones that make me think. All right, this is another movie that you don't have to guess.
Yay!
January 6th, 2006. This one's directed by Uwe Boll, starring Christina Loken, Penn Kingsley, Michael Madsen, and Billy Zane. It's Blood Rain. Do you remember that one? It's one of those terrible video game movies that Uwe Boll...
Oh, yeah, like she was a vampire or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, like she was really hot on the cover of the video game.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
God.
So, and in fact, when I was putting this list together, I went and checked it out.
That was the beginning of the end of Ben Kingsley having any credit.
Well, right. When you work with Uwe Boll, but apparently he didn't take the hint because there was that huge petition to get him to stop making movies.
Oh yeah, right.
And he is still making movies. There's his IMDb page has post-production stuff in last year.
Yeah,
so.
like Ben Kingsley, you think, okay, yeah, he's attached to it. Must be a great movie. But he'll do anything if you give him a cheeseburger. He'll like, I'll do it.
Yeah, some people
him and Nicolas Cage. You don't know how to turn down roles. Have a great movie. It's about a mouse and a spider and a funnel. I'm in.
Hey, some folks have to pay for their kids' college educations, right?
Yeah. Okay. What's next?
This one's getting interesting. January 7th, 1929. Buck Rogers, 2429 AD, and Tarzan, two of the first adventure comic strips debut. They lead the way for the popularization of science fiction, first in print, then in serialized fashion. So, do you remember those strips?
No, I mean...
They ran for
Tarzan
years.
Vaguely, yeah. I mean, but those were the ones that had lots of words in them and stuff, though.
They did have words.
I'm a Garfield kind of guy.
All right, we got time for a couple of birthdays.
I hate Mondays.
On the first, Katrina Law. She was in Nazia Ghul in Arrow. The daughter of...
the daughter of Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah. Second, Dax Shepard. He was... what was he in?
I'm glad you did your research on
No,
this
he was in Idiocracy. He was...
ouch, my balls.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Danica McKellar on the third. She was Winnie Cooper in The Wonder Years.
Oh, Winnie.
Yes.
Oh, Winnie.
She also voiced did some voice work in the X-Men video games.
She's also a friggin' genius, like an algebra wizard.
Mathematician, yes. On the fourth, Greg Sipes. He was a voice of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mike, and he was in Teen Titans Go, Beast
Oh,
Boy.
okay. Yeah.
We interviewed him.
Yeah, he's nuts. He's like a California hippie guy.
Yes, he's great.
Yeah, he's odd.
On the 5th, Clancy Brown. He's Buckaroo Banzai. He was the Kurgan in Highlander.
Oh,
yes.
God, I love him.
And on the 6th, Norman Reedus.
Nice.
Yes. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Our fans got to meet him last year.
They did.
All right. Brian, I think we're done here.
I think we are, man. I need to go to bed.
I swear.
So I would tell you what's going to happen next week. I don't know at this point.
All right, like us on Facebook, all that jazz. Till next time, keep your nerd flag raised high.
GFL.
Your new home for Walton and Johnson. News Talk 99.5 WRNO FM, New Orleans, an iHeart radio station.